pretty babies, what is going on? Lee Sanders here. You are checking out a new the RCWR show covering all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. We are here. We are definitely talking about AEW Rampage. Hey, we're going to also toss a bone. We're going to talk a little bit about Smackdown as well. But we definitely going to be dedicating most of this hour that we're with you guys to talking about CM Punk. So, and also, because we only want to do this show for about an hour. Those of you that want to call into the show and you want to sound off, you saw Rampage tonight, you want to sound off about what you saw, you will have your opportunity. The way I want this show set up tonight, I want to talk about Rampage. I mean, it's really boom, 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 boom. I want to get through Rampage in about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes tops. So if you guys are willing to, hang out, that's cool. But then we're going to open up the phone lines, get you guys reactions. Those of you that maybe want to call in, I'll definitely look. If you don't want to call in, just leave your comments. I want to know what you guys had thought about tonight's Rampage and everything. I have had a busy weekend. If you're following me on social media, you know I had finally, after all these months, I hosted my panel at AWESOMECON. And my God, I'm not going to go on and on and on about AWESOMECON, but for those of you that maybe were not able to attend AWESOMECON and you weren't able to check out my panel, it was a fantastic panel. And I actually got mad help from somebody connected at AWESOMECON, as I initially did not record the panel. And I had learned the hard way that no, that's not how you operate. Like, if you're doing a panel, yada, 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 you can stream it, you can record it, use your shit. Otherwise, what's the point bringing it? It's like, yeah. So I got a mad favor from the people at AWESOMECON. They actually hooked me up with top-notch quality. I mean, top-notch quality, what all they had recorded. I have the video and the audio that the experts had recorded. So I'm going to go back. I don't think I have to really do that much cleaning up with the audio and all that, but I'm going to be going in over the weekend, just touching up, doing a little stuff here and there. Sunday. Mark it down on your calendars. Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's Sunday, August 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/the RCWR show. I'm going to drop that panel as a live presentation. Even though it's been recorded already, I'm going to premiere it for you guys. And I'll actually be in the chat room interacting with you guys and all that. So, but a fantastic day. Man, going into tonight, though, kind of like what I had told the panel tonight, I said a couple of things can happen with this AEW Rampage tonight. Yo, he's back. He's back. I wish I would have been recording my reactions. I really wish I should have, in retrospect, fired up my phone and I should have just had it on me as he came out. But I screamed to the top of my lungs. I was so freaking excited to see my boy, CM Punk, AEW Rampage, CM Punk making his triumphant return to pro wrestling. Making his return to pro wrestling and returning to, of all the promotions, returning to AEW. Well, not really returning, but you get what I mean as far as if you're going to return, okay, you're not only returning, but you're doing it in style. And the way that he did it in AEW, I loved it. I loved it tonight. I mean, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was like, let's go! Let's go! Yeah! I mean, it was just, that United Center crowd. So many memories. Just Chicago, period. I love Chicago. Any chance I get an opportunity to talk with folks that's from the Chicago area, look up family from the area, just talk all things Chicago. I love Chicago. I don't get a chance to go back enough. And at this point, one of the last times I actually went back to Chicago was actually to see CM Punk at the meet and greet he did at the Pro Wrestling Tees store, and well documented for you newer listeners. You're more than welcome to go check it out on demand and on the downloads. But It was such a great experience, and the vibe that I had genuinely got from him, I gotta tell you, he really went out of his way. And I don't really know if you guys really were able to tell that tonight, but the CM Punk that you guys saw tonight was essentially the same CM Punk that I pretty much had got when I was at the Pro Wrestling Tee store. A guy that was just so humble, so friendly, very approachable. Long as you were respecting him, he gave you that respect right back. And I remember when I had told him, and I mean, at this point, me and Tams, we weren't even married yet when we had went out there to see him. And when I told him how long it had been since I came back to Chicago, and that basically he brought me back, he essentially brought me back home, he was so taken away by that. I mean, he just jerked his head back and like what? And, you know, he spent an extra little bit of time talking with us and everything, definitely talking with the missus and all that. He actually thought Tams had something she wanted autographed. And, you know, and she was like, no, I'm just with him. And, you know, but I am a big fan of your work. It's a great honor to meet you. I mean, whole 9 yards, you know, and you get some people, you know, yeah, but they got to do, no. You can really tell when somebody is bullshitting and when somebody is being legit genuine. And I remember, you know, we must have talked to Punk for like about almost 5 minutes, yo. We must have talked to him for at least about 5 minutes. And I just remember one of the last things Punk had said to me. He said, welcome back home. You know, you really got to come back here more often. Hopefully not that long again. I said, yeah, that's the plan. He's like, well, you know, enjoy the rest of your time here. You know, thank you so much for coming to see me. You know, he's like, it really means a lot. You have no idea. I was like, all right, awesome. It was like, you know, you too. It's like, thank you. No, thank you. Right. So, I mean, to just think of that moment, think how personal he was, how approachable he was as a human being and all that, and to pretty much get what you had got tonight. Yeah, it definitely matches up and everything. I know a lot of people have had so many thoughts in their head over the years about CM Punk, and I've been sitting through all of it over the years, hearing the people bring up the narrative. He doesn't give a damn about his fans. He doesn't give a damn about pro wrestling. And I really love the points that he had made. And, you know, if you want to say it was a pipe bomb, a little mini pipe bomb, you can go ahead. I'll give you that. But if you just want to honestly just, nah, man, this guy was just seriously shooting straight from the hip, then let's just call it for what it was worth, because that's honestly what we had got. We didn't get nothing that was rehearsed or anything that was predetermined. You know, I don't even think we got bullet points from the man tonight. I think what we got, when you get right down to the heart of the matter, we got down to the core of the man and just what was going on with him in real time. And that was just such a powerful, magical moment right there. I loved it from just top to bottom. What a great way to open up your second episode of AEW Rampage. And you know what? To Jay in the chat that's talking about how he legitimately cried seeing what he had saw tonight. Man, you saw grown-ass men in attendance at the United Center that were crying. I'm not going to even lie to you guys. I got emotional, not to the point that I was ready to cry, but I just got so emotional, but full of joy, full of happiness, because I understood this man's journey. I understood what all was going on with this man during his time away from the WWE, during his time away from wrestling in general. I understood this was a man that when it was all said and done, something that he felt so passionate about, something that he felt so dedicated about and cherished and nourished, he ended up hating. And it was all because of essentially how he was treated with that former employer. So I don't blame him whatsoever for just taking the time out, as he talked about during his time in the ring there, talking about how, you know, look, you know, you guys you all look, if I ever in my entire life disappointed you in any way, if I upsetted you in any way, I hear you, but understand where I'm coming from. And I just loved how, it doesn't get any more candid than that. I mean, this was really CM Punk, Phil Brooks, at his most sensitive moment. This was really him just, here I am. I'm not hiding behind no walls. I'm not hiding behind smoke and mirrors. I'm not being cryptic. This is what's going on with me here as I am right now. And I love the fact that he just spoke from the heart, but to talk about how that other company in WWE burned him down to the ground, burned him up mentally, spiritually, physically, that he just got to the point where he was disgusted with wrestling as a whole. I mean, can you just imagine that for a second? Just imagine something that you're very dedicated about, something that you're very passionate about, that you love so much. And you give. And essentially, when it's time for that reciprocation, and it just, the way it just twists and turns itself and pretty much shits upon you. Yeah, you're probably going to have a nasty, bitter taste in your mouth. You're probably going to be feeling a bit jaded. You're probably going to be feeling a bit burned out. You're probably going to be questioning your self-worth. And there's no worse feeling in the world. Anybody will tell you this, especially if you're a grown-ass adult. Anybody will tell you this. There is no worse feeling in the world than the employer that you're working for. You feel as though, I'm just a cog in the machine. I feel like I'm not really being heard. I feel like I really don't have a purpose here. I really don't feel like I'm truly being valued. And when you don't feel like that, it's just a matter of time before either something reckless happens and you end up hurting yourself at work, or you just get so burned out, you just go, yeah, man, you know what? I'm clocking out. I'm out of here. And that's exactly what happened with CM Punk in the WWE there. So to hear him be so passionate, making all of those very valid points, I know many people will kind of look at this and look at it as him taking shots at WWE. I'm not looking at it as that at all. I think this was just really him just speaking from the heart what exactly was going on with him all these years. Now, I ate up the part where he brought up Ring of Honor and talked about how when he walked away from Ring of Honor, he knew that, he was sad. He did not want to walk away from Ring of Honor. He didn't, because all the men and women that he worked for there, the people that he was able to work with behind the scenes, the way that he was able to go in there, help build up that company, the way he nurtured it, and pretty much when he left, leaving ROH in really good hands. I mean, not for nothing, but there really was a good group of people after he left that pretty much had picked up that flag and they were waving that ROH banner. But he knew deep down inside, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave ROH and I'm going to head on over here to this other company. And I love the fact that he did not mention those three letters. I love that. This isn't me bashing WWE. You know how we do it on this show by now. We cover all things wrestling. It's not just, per what I talked about at the panel. It's like, no, we're universally speaking here. But I really did love the fact that he made the points that he needed to make without mentioning those three letters. But he talked about how he knew after leaving ROH, it was going to be a more difficult, challenging road for him with the other company. He knew that. And for him to just get to that point in his speech to the crowd where he talked about, and look at that specific date that he mentioned too. He said, as far as he was concerned, August 13th, 2005, that is when he walked out on professional wrestling. August 20th, 2021 is when he has made his return to pro wrestling. So just think about that for a second. I really, really need you guys to just think about that for a second. Because if that kind of went over your head in real time, and maybe you were just a little bit confused at what he had said there, just marinate on that once again. August 13th, 2005. Okay, what happened in 2005? 2005, that's when he left Ring of Honor. Now you look at when he had signed with the WWE. He signed with the WWE through OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling, later on in 2005, and pretty much went through the WWE outlet that way and all that. So he's pretty much telling you in that speech that as far as he's concerned, from pretty much late 2005 until 2014, that whole tenure under the WWE umbrella, he's pretty much acting as though it never happened. Can you blame the man? I ask you guys straight up, boys and girls, can you blame the man? I'm sure if you're the USA Network, if you're Fox, you're the executives, you're probably looking at the fact that WWE did not try to make any type of a play whatsoever for CM Punk, nor for Daniel Bryan, that these great marquee guys, you didn't do. What the hell? If you're the executives, you're definitely scratching your freaking heads going, what the hell? Why isn't that us? Why are those great talents over here with this other promotion? It's simple. The respected people that are at play in WWE, there is a certain narrative that they put out there about CM Punk. You know, oh, he's difficult. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. You know what? Could that maybe have been true at some point? You might be able to make a little bit of an argument. Two things can be said but true, though. I also believe, hey, if you're going to call somebody on their bullshit and you got all the facts on your side that, nah, man, these guys are in the wrong. Why the hell is this going down? And you're being vocal about it and you have nothing but the facts to back you up. Yeah, you know what? You probably aren't going to really like a person like that. You probably are more inclined to, why can't I just have a person that just shuts up and does what they're supposed to do? So I'm sorry, but if WWE is kind of looking at somebody standing their ground and pretty much defending themselves and all that, and you know what I say? Well, fuck them. Maybe it's good that things didn't work out the way that it did, and now CM Punk is working for the competitor. That's just how it is, right? So, I mean, that was a great freaking NL, yeah, no L, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he says in the chat just now, CM Punk, August 13th, 2005, left pro wrestling. CM Punk, August 3rd. I kind of see what you're doing there with the August 13th, but we really should just officially put this timestamp on August 20th, 2021. He's pretty much returning to wrestling. So I love it. I love this promo. I love the fact that it was so heartfelt. I love the fact that it was also so multi-layered. You just couldn't help but kind of hug yourself a little bit and just really feel what CM Punk was feeling there. I just love the fact how you heard that Cult of Personality music hit. And you're going, could it be? Could it actually be him? And there was a part of me that was thinking, maybe it's Kenny Omega. Maybe Kenny Omega is getting ready to troll us here. Because remember, over the past couple of weeks, he's been doing some stuff. Most recent as Dynamite, he had a Chick Magnet shirt on it. And I told the people when I did my AWESOMECON panel earlier today, I said, just have it in the back of your mind. Just have it in the back of your mind. Omega's been doing some stuff. We could get trolled. Just saying, we could get trolled. But the fact that we did not get trolled, and I think honestly what really sealed the deal was that recent interview that Tony Khan had gave out where he pretty much all became, right? Probably the only thing he didn't do was come flat right out and say, yeah, we got CM Punk. He pretty much said something along the lines of basically, yeah, tonight's going to be a very magical moment, all that good stuff. I loved it. I love the way that this was set up as far as greatest moments in professional wrestling for 2021. You definitely got to put this. I don't see how, as a wrestling fan, especially if you're making your rounds, checking out what's going on in various wrestling promotions, I just don't see how you don't have this, if not number one, at least in your top three. I would be very curious. I'm more curious to see if it's not your number one, what exactly is your number one? Because when you just look back on 2021 so far, you're going, well, what? No, on second, yeah, why isn't this number one? Why don't I have this number one on my list? So a really great moment. And, it's so funny because I remember when me and my wife first started dating, we first started talking to each other, CM Punk was still wrestling. And she hadn't watched wrestling in a couple of decades. And what was so hilarious, when we started dating and she found out I was into the pro wrestling, it was kind of one of those, well, I'm only going to tolerate it because, I like him a lot. And, maybe there's some cool cats I can check out. And one of the first people that she found herself gravitating towards was CM Punk. And she loved all things CM Punk. I mean, it was a great time to be a wrestling fan. So let me see. Me and the missus, we've been together since 2011. So just think, as far as the WWE umbrella goes, just think about all of those great things that was going on during that time period leading up to CM Punk leaving pro wrestling for a little bit. Right? There was a lot of cool ass shit that was going down during that period. And then we all could be in agreement, just the decline that kind of happened there for a hot little bit. Yeah, you had some nice little spots here and there, but it just wasn't the same. Yeah, isn't that amazing that here's a guy that's, and you look, you had those jealous mofos, you had those people that looked at CM Punk doing his whole MMA thing and were saying, he got his ass handed to him, blah, 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 this. And, when you tried to say, hey, got a lot of respect for that guy that did it. Oh, well, that's easy for you to say because, he got paid a boatload of money. I know plenty of people. Great shape, healthy as a horse, cockstrong, would not step in an octagon, wouldn't even step in a boxing ring, even if you gave them $1 million. Like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I'm good. Really, I'm good. For people to go into that type of field, you feel where I'm coming from? Look at Tim Tebow. Say what you will about Tim Tebow and everything. But here was a guy that, 34 years of age, right? 34 years of age, decided, okay, I got this opportunity to try to get back in the NFL here. It's not at quarterback, which I feel I'm pretty good at, but I'm coming in as a tight end. I'm going to do the best I can to make this work to the best of my ability. And we saw how that pretty much ended up. And we got people that's out there, they're throwing shade at Tim Tebow, having their little memes and all of that. Some of it's funny, but when you get right down to the heart of the matter, at least you can say, hey, you know what? This guy was somewhat able, for the short duration that he was involved in football, he was able to essentially live his dream, and can't nobody take that away from him. Hey, does it suck how things pretty much ended for him? Yeah. I mean, if he wants to continue to pursue football, hey, there's always Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's XFL. There's always arena football that he can try to get into if he's still that passionate about playing football, let alone playing in that position. But he got to do what he wanted to do. You feel where I'm coming from? So apply that same concept to just life in general, basically. You feel where I'm coming from? So, I mean, just top to bottom, just really great. And the fact that AEW had built off of that, right? I mean, that segment must have took up about, my God, that segment must have took up about, at least, if you were to tell me that was about close to 25 minutes, I really would not be surprised. I was anticipating somebody was going to be coming out there and they were going to interrupt CM Punk, but it did not happen. And I love the fact that once CM Punk said what he needed to say there, really embracing the crowd. I mean, this was a CM Punk. You know, some people may look at this and say, oh, some of the reactions he was giving to some of the fans in attendance, it was a bit maybe kind of fake, or it was a little bit over dramatic. No, I don't believe that at all. I legit feel that spiritually, mentally, physically, he is at one with himself. He is back in love with pro wrestling again. And he was just feeding off of the energy from that Chicago crowd, from those fans in attendance. And that pretty much was just carrying him the entire time during this great historic night. But I love the fact that he turned his attention to Darby Allin and essentially challenged Darby Allin. And then meanwhile, you've got Darby Allin high up in the rafters with his boy Sting. And I just couldn't help but say to myself, well, shit, I'm down with a CM Punk Darby Allin match, but, you know, Sting, CM Punk, that's got a better ring to it, especially if it's a heel CM Punk going up against Sting. Ooh, yeah, it was just so weird, too. Was anybody else kind of, why is Sting there exactly? Like, yeah, you know they're boys, but no, seriously, why the hell is Sting there? Like, this should just let Darby have his moment. Let Darby just have his moment. Sting can just be chilling in the back, doing whatever, right? But I love the fact that CM Punk gave Darby Allin a lot of props, talked about how he appreciates his grit. This is a guy that's willing to sacrifice his body, all the crazy bumps that he's willing to take, and tells him he reminds him a lot like Chicago residents. And that nothing could be more dangerous than Darby Allin facing CM Punk in the middle of the ring. And that's exactly what he wants, as he wants to face him September 5th, Chicago, all out. And CM Punk already told us, too, in that same breath, that we're going to be seeing a lot more of him pretty much on all the shows. I would think, though, not Dark and not Elevation. I would think we're not going to see him on those. I don't think it's needed. If you maybe want to run a little highlight clip, that's fine, of Punk, that's fine. But I really don't think you need to have him on those YouTube shows. Let it be where it counts the most. And to the point, we're going to be seeing CM Punk make his AEW Dynamite debut this Wednesday. Fucking fantastic. You know what? One thing I got to say about Chicago. In Chicago, you know I love you. You're my home. You know that. Always will be. Anytime I get an opportunity to come on back, visit friends and family, I always try to make the best effort. But I got a bone to pick with you guys. So let me see if I got this straight. I've been fiending. My black ass been fiending for some CM Punk ice cream bars for years. And you motherfuckers get CM Punk ice cream bars courtesy of the man himself on your way out of the United Center. And then to throw more insult to injury, I got to see Jim Ross. I got to see Taz. I got to see Mark Henry and them all taking big old bites of them damn ice cream bars. Yo, that's some cold shit, man. Seriously, that's some cold shit. Hey, can we get some? We want to taste too. We like the ice cream bars. We ain't asking for much. You know, work out some type of deal, AEW. And I'm being dead serious. Because when you look at AEW, they got the toy line. They about to hit up the video games, right? They got the t-shirts that's going on right now. But other than that, that's essentially it. Meanwhile, you look at WWE and you look at all of this great, when it comes to marketing, WWE is beast. We can't deny that. You can be a anti-WWE, but you can't even deny that. Like, yeah, you know what? As far as WWE goes, yeah, they got about just anything. Frick, they just announced how they worked out this partnership deal with some dog company or whatever, some pet company called Barks or something like that. And they got these cool little WWE stuffed little animals, championship belts and all that for your pets. You can even put John Cena wrist bracelets on your dog. I mean, they got anything you can think of. They got it all covered. I need for AEW. I need for AEW to start. Okay, what can you can start with ice cream bars. That ain't asking much. Look, I'm sure you guys can work out a deal with Walmart, Whole Foods, some shit. Hook us up. Why that gotta be extended to just the people at the United Center? Hook us all up. We want some ice cream bars too, man. Come on. Hashtag we want ice cream bars. I agree. No, I agree. Give us them damn ice cream bars, man. Great fucking moment. I can't stress that enough. Great fucking moment. And what I'll do for you guys right now, because I went a little bit over on that one. What I'll do for you guys right now, I'll talk a little bit more about some of the matches from Dynamite tonight. We'll also talk a little bit about SmackDown as well. I'll show SmackDown a little bit of love for sure. But you guys, if you wanna call into the show right now and you want to sound off about what all had came about from Rampage, particularly you want to talk all things CM Punk, you want to share some reactions, you want to go on ahead and maybe ask a wrestling related question, non-wrestling related question while we at it, you could definitely do so. Number to call 202-769-1364. Again, that's 202-769-1364, and I will actually put that in the chat right now for you guys. Just bear with me a quick second here, and I'll just say to call into the show. Yeah, there we go. And there you go. You guys can see the message there. So if you guys want to call in, you can go ahead and you can call in. I don't know what more I can say about CM Punk returning, except what a great introduction, a proper introduction. It's your second episode to AEW Rampage, and you open it up with that. I mean, you talk about as far as opening up your show and really hitting a home run, really grabbing that casual wrestling fan, that particular breed of wrestling fans that rarely watch the shit. You feel where I'm coming from? Yeah. All right, we got a call coming in. 832, you're on the air.
This is Steven Harris calling from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Steven, how you been, brother?
You know what? I watch AEW. When I seen CM Punk came out of the door, I had him got me some pizza and some some soda water because CM Punk, man.
Steven, you there? You can. There you are. There you are.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you kind of fade. I can hear you now. You faded away a little bit.
Okay, I said CM Punk though came out, and then the crowd was jumping up and down, and then it was atmosphere out there in the city of Chicago. He jumped right into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It was fan was crying, and then they happy to see CM Punk back in AEW.
Correct.
But,
so, how'd that make you feel? Let's talk about you. How did that make you feel seeing him return tonight?
Oh, it felt so great to see CM Punk look good because AEW. How did it make me feel? It made me feel a whole lot better seeing CM Punk back because AEW, man, is getting a whole lot better because Tony Khan, though, he really nipped it in the budget.
Yes, he did.
Because now I see Vince McMahon, he's sitting his old ass at home. Now he's sitting there watching CM Punk debut Now it done came back and bite him in that ass. Now he done shocked. He don't know what to do. You see CM Punk, he's going to get used a whole lot over there in AEW against Dave Boy Allen. He's going to beat him, and then Dave Boy Allen going to be the one that puts CM Punk over. But a lot of things going to hurt Dave Boy Allen at full all out in Chicago in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be used against Malachi Black, Cody Rhodes, Eddie Kingston, John Moxley. Over there in AEW, he's going to get booked a whole lot better. But if WWE would have had CM Punk won the Royal Rumble, he would have faced the Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania in 2014. But WWE, they had fucked that up.
Yeah.
And then he would have been the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He would have main evented WrestleMania.
Yes.
But
yes.
WWE, the booking was there fucked up. So CM Punk, he quit at WWE. He did not like the way how he was being used, didn't like the way how the company was going in the wrong direction.
Correct.
So he walks out and quit.
Correct.
But I'm so with CM Punk, I am so glad to see him back in the WWE. But now we waiting on Daniel Bryan if he signed with the company. And now we have to see what Adam Cole, if he loses this Sunday coming up against Kelly O'Reilly, that means it's all over for him. He leaving WWE. I don't see him getting booked on the WWE main roster that well. So I hope he choose AEW over WWE. That's the place to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But with Sasha Banks, she had tweeted out tonight against CM Punk, and this girl loves wrestling. Roman Reigns had an interview about CM Punk, because them two ain't never faced each other in the ring for the WWE Universal Championship.
Yeah, Steven. Let's pause right there, because we'll talk a lot more about that on the Monday show. But let me do this, because I hate to be rude. I want to try to get as many calls in as possible, potentially from those that want to talk about tonight's Rampage. So, but definitely call back, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Steven. Yeah, if you guys wanna call in and you wanna sound off about what you thought about Rampage tonight, what you thought about CM Punk's debut and all that, you could definitely call in right now. You know, if you don't really necessarily want to talk about AEW Rampage, maybe you want to talk a little something WWE related. I didn't want to go into the whole Roman Reigns CM Punk thing, because there's an interview that's floating around right now where Roman Reigns has some choice words to say about CM Punk, and that would just, like I said, I only want to have this show be about an hour, and then we pretty much we're in and out. And this is something that's probably going to take about maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes to kind of talk about and everything. But if you haven't checked out that interview that Roman Reigns had, I believe it was with Ariel Harari. Check it out. And then that'll get you guys ready for Monday's show and all that. Don't worry. I mean, we're coming back Saturday and Sunday and all, but Monday is where we're definitely going to be talking about it. But yeah, if you want to call in, you want to sound off about what went down tonight on Rampage, or you want to talk a little Smackdown, you can do so. I put the number up in the chat. It's area code 202-769-1364. Again, 202-769-1364. 6-4. One more time, because I see we got a couple of people that had just jumped in here just now during the live stream here. If you want to call in, sound off about AEW Rampage tonight, call in 202-769-1364. You're more than welcome. And while we talk a little bit more about Rampage, look, the matches tonight, not long-winded whatsoever. By the way, did you guys know that I am one of the new columnists for 411mania.com? Right now, we're just starting nice and slow, just baby steps. But right now, I'm pretty much going in there and I'm providing AEW Rampage live coverage. And then immediately after Rampage is over, I'm typing up a review. So 2 joints that you guys can get from me, basically. If you're more interested in just what's your review of some of the stuff that had came about, usually by about 11:15 p.m., so 15 minutes after Rampage is over, you can just wait for that article and you can get my thoughts and all that. But I kind of like it when we're doing it right here because it's much more expanded, and I don't have to worry about okay, a certain cap limit, because I can't go as much in detail as I would like to when I'm writing up these joints, because I've got to pretty much be in and out and everything. But can we just talk about, it's only 3 matches. Can we talk about some of the matches that came down from Rampage tonight? I mean, we're pretty much in and out. We'll talk about Smackdown. And please continue on with your comments. I am looking at your comments. I'll show you guys a lot of love for comments right after we get done talking about these 3 matches. But let's talk about Jade Cargill taking on Kiera Hogan. Man, look, I don't know how you guys personally feel about that matchup, but I was a little bit salty about that matchup. Now, look, I got nothing but mad respect for Jade Cargill. She has become one of my favorites, right down to the point. So funny, too, because at my panel earlier today, we made time for listener questions and all that. And one of the questions that I was asked was, who are some of the people in AEW that you like right now, that you like checking out on a regular basis? And, you know, it's kind of funny because I remember we kind of talked about that a little bit, if not the night before, a couple of nights ago. And I remember saying, well, I like Sunny Kiss. And I said at the panel, I said, I love Sunny Kiss. And that got a nice little ovation from the crowd. I put over Jade Cargill. That got a nice ovation as well. Let me see, who else did I even showed love to MJF. There was a lot of MJF fans in the house. I was quite taken back by that. You guys will see when we upload the panel and everything. But as much of a fan as I am of Jade Cargill, and she's coming along extremely well, this match with Kiera Hogan tonight, I was expecting it to be more competitive. I don't know if you guys were kind of, you know, in that same mindset as I was, but the fact that it was just a squash match, that just really, it just left me kind of shaking my head. Now, look, obviously Jade Cargill isn't, right? Both of these girls, they're getting the respected direction. Okay, this is what's going on. Here's the finish. All right, here's how much time you got. Make it happen. I like the fact that Kiera Hogan was able to get in a little bit of offense, but I mean, it wasn't much. It was pretty much kick, clothesline, charge, big boot to the face by Cargill, then pretty much sets up for a freaking impaler, basically. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, match is over. I mean, it didn't even make it 60 seconds. And if you've been checking out Impact Wrestling these past several weeks, you see what's been going on with Kiera Hogan. And I've told you guys numerous times on this show when it comes to Kiera Hogan, man, that girl is fire. Kind of funny I said that too, by the way, considering the stable she was once in there, little tag team she was once in. But she has come a long way. I remember, and I'm sure she would attest to this, I remember when she was just this little, quiet, shy young woman that had a little bit of potential there in the ring, and just the way she's been able to blossom these past 3 years as an overall performer. I just can't help but take a step back and go, wow, that's great. That's good for you, really. But, man, it really would have been nice to get in a little bit more of an offense from Kiera. That's just me. I don't know how you guys personally feel, but for me, just having watched her work at Impact and then having watched her work for a while, Women of Wrestling and all that, it's like we know what she's capable of, but, it was what it was. You know, again, no salt on Jade Cargill, look, but it was kind of like, come on, man. Can we at least get 3 minutes of a match? That's not really asking too much, I don't think. Definitely love the tag team matchup we had got tonight. The tag team matchup between, bear with me here. The tag team matchup between Private Party and Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express going over. I love the continuation here of building up the Jurassic Express, especially that Jungle Boy as legit threats to the Young Bucks AEW Tag Team Championship reign. This was, man, I love this match from top to bottom. All four of these boys, their chemistry off the charts in this matchup. Seriously, off the charts. This was an excellent tag team match. I love the fact that when I really take a step back, not only can I just look at the way that the Jurassic Express have continued to be built up as legit threats to the Young Bucks, but I can also take a step back and just, wow, you know something? AEW's tag division, it's really coming along. I can remember essentially a time where you kind of notice that at one point in time there was nothing but faction dominations running rampant in AEW. And it was kind of one of those deals where you're either in a faction or you're in this tag team over here, but you ain't really doing nothing over here in this tag team. You know, except maybe losing to the Bucks, and that's pretty much it. Now you fast forward all this time later, and the tag division is pretty much, I mean, we got some really good pieces that's going on there. I mean, take your pick. We got the Lucha Brothers. We've got, and I think somewhere down the road, we're probably going to most likely end up seeing the tag team of Chavo Guerrero and Andrade in AEW. I don't know if you guys have been kind of thinking about that a little bit, but I know I have. My gears have already been in motion trying to see how all of that is going to ultimately get pieced together, but I definitely feel it's ultimately going to happen. But Jurassic Express, we already talked about. Private Party, one of my favorite tag teams in AEW. Those boys, oh man, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, those boys have, man, entertaining as hell. Entertaining as hell. I don't know what's going on with the Acclaim there, man, but yeah, that's all I got to say about that one. Yeah, but great tag team matchup again. Jurassic Express going over. I think there was only at this point, and that was the Tag Team Eliminator. So as a result of Jurassic Express winning, next week on AEW Rampage, they are going to be facing the winner of the Tag Team Eliminator semifinal match that's going to play out on Dynamite, as Lucha Brothers will be taking on the Varsity Blondes. If you ask me straight up, who would I like to see? I want to see Lucha Brothers take on Jurassic Express. I think that would be a killer freaking matchup. A killer freaking matchup. So we'll see how that pans out. Also, third matchup of the night. This was actually pretty good. You know, I went into this one kind of going, but it was actually a pretty damn good match. It was honestly, no bull, I was expecting a squash match. I'm talking about Jon Moxley taking on Daniel Garcia. Man, Daniel Garcia's mat game is so smooth. It is so smooth like butter. I was really taken back by his mat game, and I mean that in the most positive way possible. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times there where it seemed when Moxley was on the offense, he was just stomping a mud hole in Garcia, but Garcia would just come back with these great leg takedowns. And then from there, you know, he's just doing all these crazy submission holds, and you're like, whoa, young man, whoa. I mean, he was freaking ring around the rosy on Jon Moxley. Now, I didn't think Moxley was going to tap, but I sure as hell thought, I don't know, think Moxley might get an upset defeat here, man, at the hands of Daniel Garcia. But I like the fact that this match not only was made pretty competitive, because the way it kind of started off at first, you were going into this going, fuck, this is going to be a squash. But then as soon as you thought that, we just started seeing Garcia on the offense. You're like, oh, well, wait a minute here. And what you thought might have been the way the match was booked, what you thought was maybe just, this is just luck. No, it ended up just great way that they did this. And I love the fact that Garcia was built up in such a fashion where no, this may not be just a clear-cut, easy victory for Moxley. That was pretty good. I definitely want to see a lot more of that young man. I don't know how you guys personally feel about Daniel Garcia, but some of what I saw of him tonight just kind of had me take a step back. And look, you guys know by now, I don't watch every single Dark. I don't watch every single Elevation. I'll usually, when I go over the card with you guys on the shows, there's usually one or two matches I will just seek, basically fast forward, and I'll just look at that and I'm pretty much good to go. So this was really no bullshit. And I got no problem admitting this. This was really my first time truly looking at Daniel Garcia and then saying, all right, I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing. Give me some more. So looking forward to seeing what happens with him in the coming weeks on AEW programming. Post-match, we saw 2.0 come out, and they were jumping Eddie Kingston and Moxley. Darby Allin, Sting, they come in for the respected saves, and they all just took turns beating the living crap out of 2.0, Daniel Garcia, Moxley, Kingston, Sting, Allin, all standing tall and strong as AEW Rampage went off the air. So, I mean, think about that for a second. We kick things off with CM Punk. Then we have great tag team freaking action. And then we put a nice bookmark on everything with Jon Moxley, a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion, a pro wrestling legend in the Icon Sting. I mean, how freaking badass is that? We also got some other action notes that's going to be happening on Dynamite. You guys bear with me a second here. Yeah, so we already told you about Lucha Brothers taking on the Varsity Blondes, but also on Dynamite this coming week, Red Velvet goes one-on-one with Jamie Hayter. Meanwhile, Matt Hardy will take on Orange Cassidy. In addition, Malachi Black goes one-on-one with Brock Anderson. So that's just some of the stuff that's going to be going down on Dynamite this week. But definitely a fantastic. And look, I don't know if it's available right now. I'm going on the site as we speak. But CM Punk had debuted one hell of a sweet ass shirt. A brand new Best in the World shirt. And I got to tell you, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I'm on AEW Shop as we speak. You go over there to their site, shopaew.com, and man, no bullshit. Any other time I go on Shop AEW, site loads up without any issues. Wait a minute. Site loads up without any issues. Wait a minute. It's still loading up. It's still loading up, y'all. It's still loading up. I think CM Punk crashed the fucking site. No bullshit. I think CM Punk crashed the site because this is the longest, and I've got fast, reliable, consistent internet. Okay, it's loading up. It's finally loaded up. Let's see. We're doing this in real time for you guys. August 21st, 2021, 12:51 a.m. Eastern. All right, so I'm going to go into search, and I'm going to just type in CM Punk. And let's see what happens here. It's loading. Nothing's come up. So let's just hit enter. And let's see what happens when we put in CM Punk. You would like to believe that in preparation for this, wow, All Elite Wrestling search results. Yeah, no CM Punk. No CM Punk. Weird, too, because AEW's tweet, get the brand new CM Punk gear online now. ShopAEW.com exclusive I Was There version available at the United Center tonight only. All right, so let me go back to the homepage. Let's see what happens. Let's go back to the homepage. Maybe I missed something. All right, let's load this up. But apparently you can buy this shirt, but yeah, this site is, man, the load time on this site is ridiculous. Normally, any other time you go on shopaew.com, you just go boom, 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 boom. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But yeah, it's loading up. Wow, this could be a problem for AEW for a couple of weeks here. All right, so we're back on the homepage. Everything's loaded up. Let's see what we got going on here. So we got AEW official merchandise. I see Kenny Omega. I see some DVDs for AEW. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. I see the CM Punk joint. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. CM Punk, best in the world ringer, front only, $29.99. Meanwhile, there is a CM Punk best in the world a flag. Okay, there's basically a flag. All right, not bad. And let's keep scrolling down here. I see nothing else CM Punk related. So basically, it's a front print only. The shirt that he wore tonight. So I think what AEW meant to say was get the same shirt that CM Punk wore tonight at the United Center through our website. So you're going to get that shirt, but you're not going to get the shirt that says I was there. You're not going to get that. I was there. I don't know why they're advertising that, because that's false advertising. Unless, and let me look at the tweets here, because I just want to make sure you guys are getting the right information here. Yeah, it looks like 2 hours ago the shirt had crashed. Let's see here. Jesus Christ. Wait a minute, guys. Wow. Are you serious, dude? Are you serious? Wow. Already on eBay. Check this out. I bullshit you not. Already on eBay. The CM Punk I Was There limited edition shirts. Them things are being sold for $300 on eBay. Can you believe that shit? $300 on eBay. That is fucking sick. Well, look, shout out if they're able to get that money. Seriously, shout out if they're able to get that money. All right, so looking at this, wait a minute. Looking at this new CM Punk shirt here. Their site crashed again, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of, let me tell you something. If you're interested in buying the CM Punk stuff that you do see, it's only like 2 options right now. It's basically his new logo as a flag, laminated flag, and then the shirt, but it's just got his new logo. That's it. You don't have the I Was There on the back. Yeah, you guys, when you get an opportunity, site loads up and you want to try to get it, hurry up and get it. I was able to see the price tag for you guys. It's $29.99. I mean, that's a good deal. That's a good deal, I think. But I think it's one of those type of deals where, okay, well, quality-wise, what are we talking about? And then also, how long is it going to last? You know, you kind of have to also think about that as well. I mean, if they're still fucking with Pro Wrestling Tees for all their shit, then I've washed quite a few of my wrestling shirts. Good bulk I had got from Pro Wrestling Tees, and they've held up pretty damn good. So, yeah, you guys, I would say maybe try tomorrow going on the Shop AEW site. Maybe you might get lucky. Maybe you won't. We'll have to wait and see. That's crazy though, right? That is fucking crazy. $300 fucking for a shirt. Man, that's insane. So yeah, we got done talking about AEW Rampage. And once again, if you guys want to call in, you want to sound off about Rampage tonight, you could definitely do so. Number to call 202-769-1364. If you guys are interested, let me show some love to some of the people that were in the chat and had commented here. So let's get caught up on the chats here. I see a CM Punk is back in pro wrestling. Hell yeah. Let's see. I see SCM saying WWE, and he's got the skull emoji. I'm assuming he's saying WWE is dead. Once again, you just can't help but, right? JJ, WWE now fears AEW. Excuse me, but most importantly, CM Punk. You know, I legit believe in my heart of hearts that WWE does consider, contrary to some of the stuff that maybe Vince McMahon may put out there and all that, I do legit believe that WWE does look at AEW as competition. I don't believe they fear them, but they do look at them as competition to the point, well, let's see what they do. What are they doing? Okay. All right, well, maybe we can borrow a couple of elements here and there and kind of fine-tune that a little bit, make it fit our narrative. Let's expand upon that thought. That's how WWE, and we've seen them do that time and time and time and time again. Look, WWE, they just, recently got this deal with NBC Universal. Network's now over on Peacock. Not exactly the greatest experiment that's been going on with Peacock, mind you, by the way. I mean, the whole interface and all that, it's been a hit or miss. We can all admit that. It's definitely been a hit or miss. But they brokered that deal. They just brokered a deal with Spotify to do WWE exclusive podcasts. And from what I understand, they are looking for help from all avenues when it comes to who all they want to be under their podcasting network and all that. So kind of interesting what's going on there, right? Because remember, The Ringer, if you guys have ever heard of The Ringer, Spotify recently acquired The Ringer, and thus pretty much WWE partnership and all of that going on. So there's a lot that's going on with WWE from a positive standpoint. They just had Vegas tryouts. We'll talk a lot more about that on Monday, but they had some Vegas tryouts, looked pretty damn good. You just recently had Triple H say, yeah, I'm aware of all this stuff that's being said about WWE and everything, but we're just doing like we normally do. It's just business as usual. I'm like not really sure what everybody is talking about here. And I legit believe that. I truly believe that WWE is all about, look, we want to make stars. And, if you've been in our system for X amount of time and, it ain't clicking, you're gone. If we take a good look at you, we see where your progress is, and, we got to talk amongst ourselves whether or not we think you got what it takes to, and we don't think you have it, then, yeah, look, can their opinions be wrong on some shit? Oh, yeah, without a fucking shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of doubt. But to say that WWE is dead? Nah. Let's see what we got here. Yes, G-Dub. That was historical, without a shadow of doubt. That was historical. Let's see. Going through some more comments here. Just trying to get caught up here. Just wait till SummerSlam. Going to be saying CM Punk. It's very well possible. It is very well possible. Let's see here. And to all those who said CM Punk is not coming back to wrestling, look who came back to the thing he loves. Yeah, you honestly, you knew it was just going to be a matter of time, but the question really was, how long was it going to take, really? How long was it going to take? Let's see here. Great way to go into the weekend, right? We got SummerSlam and we got TakeOver right around the corner. I mean, that is just badass. All right, so we're pretty much caught up on everything. Look, what do you say about SmackDown tonight? I mean, in regards to SmackDown, look, the final face-off there between Roman Reigns and what's his face? Roman Reigns and John Cena. That was pretty good. Great way to go home and all that. That was pretty solid. I definitely enjoyed Edge's promo to open up SmackDown. I mean, that promo, great intensity from Edge. It's been interesting because I've heard some of my friends in the podcasting world been a little bit sour on the Seth Rollins Edge feud, and I'm just kind of left a little bit baffled there. I just personally feel that, nah, you know what? This is, under the circumstances, this is actually a pretty good story. The way that WWE has been building it and all that, it's actually been a pretty good story. And also, okay, Edge, Seth Rollins, okay, yeah, this is actually going to be a pretty good match. Don't sleep on this match. That's my message to people. If you're kind of looking at this and kind of going a little bit sour on it, don't. I'm telling you guys straight up, you will be coming out of Saturday going, Edge and Seth Rollins had a freaking classic matchup. So, but that promo Edge had cut tonight, very passionate, and then kind of teasing later on in the night that maybe Edge is gonna maybe somehow bring back the Brood, which we know is not possible because Christian Cage is now in AEW and all that. So, I mean, you might be able to do a little something with Gangrel. Gangrel is still doing stuff on the independents, believe it or not. Matter of fact, he just recently launched a podcast. I've checked out a couple episodes here and there, Fangin' and Bangin'. Good podcast. It's actually a pretty good podcast. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. But I like that spot that he did there with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wearing all white. If that wasn't a red flag that, wait a minute, something's probably going to be going down here, something funny. Sure enough, right? If you didn't get that vibe, you weren't thinking ahead there. Like, shame on you, because you're looking at him and you're going, that's a fine ass suit. But under my breath, I'm going, be a damn shame something fucked up happened to that suit, yo. And sure enough, he gets dumped with all this, looks like black tar, basically, right? Oh, that was badass. And then that whole Brood effect and the music, lights all red and everything. Okay, all right, get it. So basically, Edge is going to tap into a very dark, sinister place that he has not been to since pretty much when he first started off in the WWE. All right, so he's pretty much matching fire with fire here with Seth Rollins. He knows that he's going to have to really dig down deep in order to get the one up on Rollins. I love the way this has been mapped out so far, and without a shadow of doubt, it's going to be a really good match. You guys just wait and see. Rey Mysterio losing to Jey Uso, pretty damn good matchup. I would say for what it was worth, just when it was starting to get warmed up, is you put some in the microwave and you're like, yeah, this should be ready in about bing. Oh, okay. You eat into it and it's kind of good, but it really should go in the microwave a little bit longer. That's how this match kind of was. It was like just starting to, and then it was over. I don't know if you guys are kind of picking up the vibe here, but I'm really under the impression that Dominic Mysterio is going to be turning on his dad sooner or later. That is the legit vibe that I'm getting right now, because I'm just looking at what's been happening these past couple of weeks. You feel me? And Ray has been, no, Dominic, no, you can't be acting like this. You can't look past these guys like that. No, you just can't. No, you got to take this seriously. I'm telling you, right? And so you've got Ray now, and it's so interesting. It's a little bit conflicting because Dominic, if you really follow the storyline, Dominic isn't doing anything out of the ordinary. You feel me? He isn't doing anything of a 180 compared to the previous months that he's been working, or rather tagging along there with his dad, working alongside his dad. He's not doing anything else different. And when you have somebody that just, come on, let's follow the blueprint here, especially for those of us, some of you all are teenagers. Most of us that are adults, we remember being teenagers. We remember having that parent that just at one point just seemed like they were just nagging us to death. And all we wanted to do was just shut the fuck up. Just say that to him. Shut the fuck up. Leave me alone, right? Let me do my thing. You just kind of get this impression that with Ray Ray just continuing to nag, you kind of got this vibe that Dominic is going, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm a grown man. I'm ready to make my own waves. I'm ready to make my own decisions. I've had my dad pretty much essentially cradle me during my whole career here. I feel as though he's hindering me from truly blossoming into the performer I know that I can be. You just kind of feel that eventually we're going to go that route. And not for nothing, but I remember a long time ago, I really was under the impression we were going to get a heel Dominic, and you kind of have to pinpoint it around when Rollins was involved there in the whole Murphy angle. You kind of felt that maybe something was going to happen right around there, and ultimately maybe Murphy would be the one that be the babyface and all that other stuff. And it's kind of interesting how things had kind of mapped out there. I don't know if you guys are kind of getting that same vibe, what you've been seeing these past couple of weeks, and it definitely kind of seemed as though it intensified on this episode of SmackDown, because Ray Ray, when it counted the most, it seemed as though Ray Ray had the match in the books and everything, as Ray was setting up Jey Uso for the 619, but Jey avoids it to get a sunset flip, but then Dominic tries to assist the cover there, that Ray Ray had managed to get by countering Jey Uso. Referee sees this clear as day, asking him what the hell is he doing, and he ejects Dominic. Meanwhile, Ray Ray, once he realizes what's going on, he's in the face of his son, kind of chewing him out there. Gets back in the ring. Jey hits the Uso splash, and that pretty much 1, 2, 3, it's over. So you're looking at this, and now you can't help but wonder, okay, what exactly does this mean going into SummerSlam? Are we going to get that good feel moment I had alluded to, what was that, on Wednesday's show, where, man, yeah, why not send the folks home happy? Why not give them that good feel moment, father and son, front of the fans, new SmackDown Tag Champions? But I don't know, guys. I think there's a bigger picture here. Look, I'm not going to change my predictions. But just kind of now, I would not be surprised if Usos retain. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. Kevin Owens took on Baron Corbin. That pretty much was Baron Corbin winning disqualification. Big E had came out looking for his Money in the Bank briefcase, slugged the hell out of Baron Corbin. But right when he was looking for his Money in the Bank briefcase, actually grabbed it, actually was reunited with it and everything. Corbin attacks Big E from behind, runs off with that Money in the Bank briefcase yet again. So where are we going with this? Is this going to be Big E and Baron at SummerSlam or something? Because the way this kind of feels, unless something like that is going to be happening where maybe we see Baron Corbin show up at SummerSlam, funky looking at all, and he's got the briefcase in his hands, and he's just trying to do his best to hide from Big E, and we pretty much see him get slugged out by Big E at SummerSlam. Unless that's going to happen, and I really wish it would happen, then you can almost make an argument that no Big E cash in at SummerSlam. We can definitely count on that. So very curious to see how that's going to pan out. And I still cannot believe that shirt. Yeah, we're still talking about that shirt. I cannot believe that shirt is fucking that much money. $300. Man, if you're able to get that money, shout out to you. Fucking shout out to you, man. Seriously. I'm actually loading up AEW shop again because I'm curious. I'll let you guys know what happened this go round here, but that bitch is crashing like a motherfucker. Third matchup, Tamina and Natty. Yeah, Natty returning in action there. Taking on the team of Shotzi and Nox. TCB taking care of business. This pretty much for me felt more like a angle setup than anything. Shotzi and Knox picking up the dub here. You know, pretty short match. Pretty short match. Really it was. I wish I was exaggerating and just, you know, kind of saying, oh, I'm just cheating you guys out. Man, I don't even think that match was 2 minutes, yo. I don't even think that match was 2 minutes. See, Montez Ford, pretty good match there with Otis tonight. That actually was a pretty good match. Otis picking up the dub. Another short matchup here, but Otis, man, is it just me or is Otis reminding us more and more of Vader? I mean, just everything, not just necessarily the look. I just mean what's going on with this whole new persona of his. It's funny because I remember just a couple of months back, I said, man, I'm not really feeling this new gimmick. It kind of feels like something I really kind of have to, you know, grow into here, but I'm not really liking it off the break. Maybe we can go back to the old Otis from months prior here, but what's been going on with him as of late with this new persona, it's really growing on me. I'm fucking digging it. But yeah, shades of Vader. I don't know if you guys been picking that up, but shades of fucking Vader is what I've been getting from him. So good shit right there. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. I think on that note, let me just look here. Oh, yeah, tag matchup. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boggs taking on Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. Nakamura, Boggs picking up the win. Another short match. Yeah, this was an issue like most of the matches here tonight. Short match. You know, seeing Boggs and Aziz go at it at one point, that actually was pretty good. You know, they kind of gelled pretty good and everything. Aziz wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. His footwork is still a little cinder blockish. You know, when I say that, I mean a little bit of cinder blocks on the feet. Not as bad as Omaz, but yeah. Bianca Belair taking on Zelina Vega. She actually did 2 matches. She did 2 matches back to back. She basically was trying to put Zelina Vega and Carmella in their respective places. Bianca defeating Zelina Vega. You know, I mean, pretty much a dud here. You know, you want to call it a squash? You ain't gonna get no argument out of me. Bianca Belair then taking on Carmella. That seemed to be a little bit more of a competitive match, but not by much. Bianca Belair picking up the dub there. I need for classic Bianca Belair to return, man. Seriously. I don't know what I said on SummerSlam predictions. Hopefully I said Sasha Banks retains, or correction, Sasha Banks gets the title. I would just love to see Bianca just chase after, and I think I did. Yeah, I'm almost pretty certain I said Sasha becomes your new SmackDown Women's Champion, and let's see Belair chase after Sasha for a little bit, and maybe in that whole process, maybe we can. I mean, not for nothing, but the promo that Bianca Belair did cut tonight, she said she pretty much ain't going to be, you know, no more Mr. Nice Guy. She's pretty much going to essentially do whatever it takes. She's going to be the meanest, the nastiest. So you're kind of going, all right, well, let's see what's up. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But yeah, that's where I am on that right now. Love Bianca, but I really miss the heel Bianca Belair, to be very candid with you guys. So again, Edge promo, very solid, bringing it back. Roman Reigns, Cena, what they did at the end of the night, pretty damn good. And that was just rehashed too. I mean, it really wasn't anything new. I mean, they pretty much were just rehashing what they've been saying to each other the past couple of weeks without really going deep with the insults. I'm definitely, of all the matches for SummerSlam, besides seeing Lashley conquer Goldberg. I'm really looking forward to Edge, Rollins, Cena, Reigns. I'm also looking forward to Damian Priest taking on Sheamus. So we'll see how everything pans out. Now remember, on the Wednesday show, we had already went through match predictions for SummerSlam and for NXT TakeOver. Okay? So no reason for us to get into that talk yet again here tonight. So one more time, last call. If you guys want to call into the show, now that we're pretty much done talking about SmackDown, you guys can definitely do it. Or, you don't feel like calling in, I can definitely read some of you guys' comments and, react to what you guys are saying. And buy you guys just a couple of minutes. Otherwise, we'll definitely stick a fork in it and call this show DONE done. So like I said earlier at the top, we did the AWESOMECON panel. I am so glad it's over. If you were to ask me if I was nervous in any type of way, I was not. I was not nervous in any type of way. My whole thing was, and I think it's just a testament to just how I've always operated with the show since 2011, which is, what the hell? What are we talking about? If you don't know who Joe is, to the person in the chat asking about Joe, I believe that the person in the chat earlier that mentioned Joe, they're talking about Samoa Joe. So that should answer your question. You're welcome. But the panel, I wasn't nervous about the panel because a true testament to me. Oh, Joe Mama. Okay, Joe Mama. Nah, Joe Mama. Yeah, I'll remember that. See, 615. You're on the air. Who's this? Give me 1 second. We don't even have you connected on air here. Give me a second here. All right, you're connecting. All right, you are now officially live. Where are you calling from? Who's this?
My name's Bill. I'm calling from Kentucky. How you doing?
All right, Bill. What's your question or comment?
I guess my question is what's your politics, son, and what is your beliefs?
Okay, that's not wrestling related, sadly. So, that's a bit personal there. Yeah, that's too personal there. Don't do that. No, we're kind of keeping it friendly tonight. There's a time and a place to talk politics and all of that good stuff. But I will say this, for those of you that may be a little bit interested in some of the stuff that we talked about with the AWESOMECON panel, we did look at how the pandemic has affected not just the pro wrestling industry, but also the entertainment industry, definitely the comic book industry. And it was a really fun, insightful panel. So definitely coming up this Sunday, August 22nd. Right. Yeah, 22nd. I think I gave you guys another date earlier. If I did, I apologize. But Sunday, August 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern, I will make that panel be available for you guys to watch. It'll be a premiere, and I'll actually be in the chat interacting live with you guys, right? So definitely check that out. Yeah, I learned a long time ago. I think that was Bill from Kentucky, or if I got that right. But I learned a long time ago that when it comes to talking politics, I don't do that. And not on the free shows. I talk politics and all that for our Patreon members, because I know in my heart of hearts that with our Patreon members, we got a really cool group of level-minded, headed folks. And, if we disagree on some of the things that we're talking about, we can have great dialogue going back and forth with each other. And there's nothing but respect that's being given throughout. Right. So that's been my promise, because I remember we had polled listeners. Usually every other year I put a poll out And it's basically like, not really a poll, but it's kind of like a survey. That's a better term. It's a survey. And I usually ask the listeners a bunch of questions. And I remember one of the surveys we had got listeners that pretty much were checking out the free shows. They had said, could you do a solid? Could you do a solid and not talk about politics? We don't mind the entertainment. We don't mind the sports. We don't mind this. We don't mind that. And it's kind of like, okay, all right, I can definitely respect that. So, yeah, we try to keep that more towards the Patreon stuff. And bear with me a second. Caller 304, could you call back in about 15 seconds? Because I'm pretty much one guy here tonight. And boom, because I had to do some moderation stuff in the chat just now. So bear with me a second here. Yeah, we got a couple of trolls, man. But you know what? Guess what? It comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. When you've been doing this for as long as I have, it comes with the territory. So we're going to go on ahead. We're not going to take any more calls because at this point, I kind of got the vibe that we've got a little bit of trolling that's going on right now. It's kind of sad, but look on, it comes with the territory. It always happens. I don't take it personal. If anything, what I think is kind of hilarious, what I think is kind of funny, and what I think is kind of sad, it's the fact that, we got these people that, let's be honest, they don't have anything else better to do, with their free time. And they think they can kind of cause a disruption and all this other shit. They do what they do to try to make them feel good or whatever, and it's kind of like, you do realize that you're actually helping my show, right? You're helping my brand. You're helping my product by doing the comments, doing the engagement. Even if you're leaving a dislike, you realize you're essentially helping me, my brand, and my product, right? So it's kind of when you think about it, it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious when you think about it. So, but yeah, that AWESOMECON panel, man, I'm telling you, when you guys check out that panel, you guys are definitely gonna fucking enjoy it. I mean, it was fucking awesome. I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was good shit. It was straight up good shit. So we got that, and I'm actually going to be going back to AWESOMECON tomorrow because one of the guys that I had interacted with today at the panel, real cool fucking guy. And what was really cool about him was the fact that he also does a wrestling podcast. Hang on here. He also does a wrestling podcast, and he's actually going to be doing his podcast tomorrow. Yeah, he's actually going to be doing his podcast tomorrow. And he personally gave me an invitation. He said, dude, why don't you go on ahead? Why don't you come on out here and, come sit at my panel, And he really had appreciated the panel. He had loved the panel that we had did on Friday. And he was like, yeah, man. And so helpful. I mean, he helped me and the wifey go check out some of the sights and sounds, gave some really good tips, some really good advice. And he's a cool dude. He's actually from the area. And I dug it. I fucking dug it. Real cool dude. So we're definitely going to be doing some collaborations in the near future. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, so we're going to go on ahead and end the show on that note. And look, I think going forward, one of the things that we're going to do in regards to how we go about dealing with trolls, when it's all said and done, we really do this show for our subscribers. So going forward, I think what we're probably going to end up doing, we're going to make this be subscribers only, where the only way you're going to be able to interact and all of that good stuff, you're going to have to be a subscriber. And then even at that, the way I'll probably play with the settings, I could set it up so that you have to be a subscriber for maybe 30 days. You got to be a subscriber for whatever the specified time I want. But we might do that going forward. You know, it's kind of sad, but luckily we were able to make all the points we were able to make with the show. But I really had wanted to make this be about you guys and get you guys overall takeaway on what you thought about Rampage and all of that good stuff. So I think now that you guys have kind of seen some of the stuff that we used to deal with in the previous years, especially in our early years doing the podcasting, because we've been at this since 2011. I think now you guys kind of understand why, when it comes to doing phone line stuff like that, why we usually don't do stuff like that is because, you know, unfortunately we got people that don't know how to act right, don't have really any good common sense whatsoever. You know, it's kind of sad, but to those of you that keep it true and true, you know exactly who you are, you doing it right. To that, only thing I can say is appreciate that support. Let's keep on rocking. So we got one show in the books. This went about 90 minutes. So, but it went 90 minutes because we did the interactions, we did take some calls, all that good stuff. So Saturday, we're going to be covering SummerSlam. Should be a good pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it. Will be a post-show. We'll be live as soon as that event wraps up. So make sure you tune in for that. Sunday is going to be NXT TakeOver 36. We're going to do a post-show on that. We'll also be here Monday, Tuesday, NWA Power Fallout, Wednesday, a new Dynamite, and then don't forget next weekend, man, we're going into NWA Empower and 73 weekend. It's going to be freaking fantastic these next several days as far as pro wrestling goes, and I'm looking forward to it. So that is going to do it. I'm going to be heading back to AWESOMECON sometime Saturday afternoon. I'll be checking out that panel I was mentioning earlier, but also I'll be recording sights, sounds, all that good shit. So if you're connected to me on Twitter and all of that good stuff, make sure you check it out. Make sure you check it out because, yeah, it's... I got to tell you, Friday, it was pretty good. Today was actually pretty good. After the panel, did some sightseeing and all that, and it was actually pretty good. Had a really damn good time. All right, y'all, that is going to do it. I am wishing all of you all to be safe and, most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios. Be well, my friends.